Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode. Uh, I love this particular topic that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking all about marketing from an email marketing standpoint. And with that, I've got Andriy Boychuk, and he's the CEO of Flowium, and it's a leading e-commerce e-marketing platform. He's a strategist, and we're going to talk all about growth and how to scale your business using digital email marketing. So, Andriy, welcome.
Hi, Christopher. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, I know. We connected through Podmatch, and tell people how you got started, and we'll get into the nuts and details of the show.
Sure. So I started back in 2000s, early 2017. Late 2016, I quit my corporate job, and I didn't know what to do, and I had some experience in email marketing from my side hustle. I was building websites and doing email marketing for myself. And when I quit my job, my full-time job, I didn't know what to do, so I started like exploring different options. I didn't want to work for somebody else at that moment, so I found this platform, Upwork, and I start kind of freelancing, taking jobs, like taking different projects, like small, big. I didn't care. Just the volume for me was the most important. And after months on this platform, I realized that people pay more money for email marketing than any other services, and there's not much competition. So this is how I kind of narrow my focus on email marketing, and the rest is like history.
Yeah, yeah, I love that, and I love So, kind of talk about from the audience standpoint, why business owners should think about or consider email marketing.
Sure. So email marketing, it's one of the marketing channels where you own the data, you own that email, and you are able to communicate with your prospect or customers as often as you want. Of course, you will not send them probably 50 emails per day, but you can do that communication on your own terms. So no other platform like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok will change some kind of algorithm and people will not see your post. Here, you own that email and you can do the manual outreach. You can type in the email and send it out, or you can do the mass, or which is called email marketing, where you craft the message and send it to your entire list.
The way I love it is because this podcast, it's very, when listeners and subscribers they come, it's very intimate. It's almost like you're in like a space, and email is like this email newsletter, or it's like more intimate and kind of like SMS, versus like the big platforms. It's just basically widespread, shoot and pray. So kind of talk about what is interesting is I love talking or learning about strategies and trends with email marketing, especially in this day of an age of AI now.
So in terms of AI, there's not much that I can. There's not much change that I see so far. Some people use AI for copywriting, like to create some subject lines, create some copy for the email itself, and some tools, some email marketing platform ESPs, they have built in AI in this in their email builders, but it's not something like innovative. It's like, listen, you can use ChatGPT, create subject lines, and put it in. What I like is some AI features where they predict something. They predict your behavior, like predict your next purchase, or they predict what you're gonna do next. That I like it's like more like machine learning. But for that AI or machine learning to work better, you need to feed more information. So if somebody purchased only once from your store, or become your customer, only paid you once, there is not much data for AI to learn. But if the second time or third time or fifth time buyer, it's easier to predict their next purchase.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And we'll get into email trends, but one thing I want to ask you is so you mentioned a higher ROI when you use email marketing in terms of just conversion rate, but how is this like compare and contrast with social media, like versus like the reach and also the conversion and the open rates and all of that?
Uh, so it's different. I mean, there's no metric like a reach, because it's not, you're not showing to the masses and like how many people you reach. You have X number of email contacts, and let's say 1,000. When you send it to 1,000 people, the average open rate is between like 20% and can be as high as 50% for 1,000 email subscribers. So this is your reach. Kind of 50% of your list will open that emails. But it will be delivered to 100% of your list. The challenge here is deliverability, because this is a fundamental of email marketing. How good your deliverability score, how good your email getting to the inboxes versus spam folder or promo folder. So there's a lot of like technical things you have to do on the back end to make sure inbox providers like Gmail, Yahoo, and others do not consider you as a spammer.
Yeah, it's interesting because with social media, it's kind of just like basically big reach, but your conversion may be very small. But then like a lot of people use social media to as a funnel into their email list, and then the email list is more dedicated, committed, and your conversion rates are a lot higher.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I'm not familiar with a social media conversion rate, but from web visitor to email subscriber, the 4 to 5% conversion rate from web visitor to email subscriber is considered a good kind of opt-in rate or conversion rate into email subscribers. And then from email subscriber to a buyer, I don't have the generic numbers, but for example, for automatic email or behavior trigger email, like 2%, 3%, or like from 1 to 3%, it's a good conversion rate, but in e-commerce space. But if we're talking about campaigns, those email blasts or campaigns broadcast, it's a point like 0.5% or even like smaller. Consider like okay conversion rate, because you're sending them more often and they are not as personalized as the behavior trigger emails.
yeah, interesting. So what are some trends in email marketing?
So the latest one that on top of my mind, Yahoo and Gmail changing the rules like currently, and in December next month, Gmail will be deleting all inactive users who did not use Gmail in the last 2 years, and it will affect people's deliverability if they do not clean up their databases, if they do not do the list hygiene. And the hypothesis and the rumors that those all emails will be converted to like spam traps if you're still sending them to those emails. If you're sending them, it's a sign to Gmail that like you're a spammer, because you should not send to those people. So this is kind of the big industry shift. And earlier this year, another was big trend and big shift was to set up dedicating sending domain. So when you use email marketing tool, when you send email from your brand, let's say like our brand is Flowium, it's like sent from Flowium and it's like via and MailChimp, blah blah blah, or Active Campaign, blah blah blah, some like weird domain. But so you're using shared domain, and you need to set it up in your domain hosting some records to make sure you're using your domain to send out those emails and not some shared one, because shared one right now will be treated as a kind of spammers now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, email and spam, and I'm always getting kind of spam and always unsubscribing. Go
You
ahead.
know what? You probably don't get even 5% what's going your way. And even like the spam folder doesn't even like your spam folder even doesn't get like probably 90 or more percent of what's actually going your way. But Gmail, Yahoo, and other providers, they doing great job to blocking those emails even like entering your inbox, even spam folder. I know it's annoying when you send out emails and it end up in spam,
Yeah.
but in general, those spam filters are good for users.
So, for example, if either your email hosting site or whatnot, and if you block senders, does that negatively impact those addresses? And does it get recognized as that's like a spammer, that sort of thing?
Yes. So there's special companies. There's like different like how should I call, like spam houses, like people like where if they blacklist you, you can be blacklisted on one side but not blacklisted on another side. But it's very important not to be blacklisted at all. But
Yeah.
if you are blacklisted, there's things you need to do to make sure like to get your reputations like in a good position. It takes time. Deliverability is not something that is like happens overnight. So it goes both ways. When you do something wrong, you don't see it like immediately. It's like you ruin your sender's reputation like over a long period of time. The same thing, like to get it better, you need like to do it good time for a very long time to get it better. It's like very similar to credit score. Like it's not something like you do it once and your credit scores like drop 200 points. Actually, you can theoretically do that, but it's not something, it's typically something over a period of time. You like opening different credit cards, you're loading credit cards with a lot of money, and your like credit score goes down. Same thing. To improve it, you need to start paying those bills on time,
Yeah.
reduce your balances, and this is how your credit score will grow. Same thing with the sender reputation.
Interesting. Yeah. And kind of talk about, we'll kind of shift gears, but talk about starting and running a premium service marketing agency.
So when I started back in 2017, I did not know even this business model agency thing. I was just kind of hustling, making money, making money to survive. At that moment, I lived in New York. I still live in New York. I had my first daughter and like wife, and I need to support my family. So I didn't care about agency, not agency, premium, not premium. Like I just need to make money. But then when I start to get traction, like when I start to focus only on e-commerce clients, I mean, we serve all kind of clients, but at that moment I was focusing only on e-commerce, and people just start to referring to me other people. And I was managing myself close to like 24 clients, and it was crazy. I mean, money was there. Like I like the money, but I didn't have time to spend those money. And I knew one guy who had the agency already, and I like, listen, I'll pay you money. Can you teach me how you organize your company, how you hire people? So over a period of 3 months, he taught me how to do it, and then I learned about the agency model, the business model, how it works, what kind of people I need to hire, how to do business, how to price. I become much less profitable because I had to hire people, but my stress level went down as well. Like I was not as stressed as it used to be, and yeah, and over the years we grew a lot during COVID. I mean, all e-commerce businesses grew a lot during the COVID period. Yeah, and this
Yeah.
is my story.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Your story describing is kind of like I'm a hustler too, so always looking for opportunities. And but then when you kind of consolidate and like create a brand and you focus, create an agency model, which is interesting. I never heard of that term, but then you talk about this scaling an e-commerce business with email marketing. Tell us more about that aspect.
Sure. So when somebody starts e-commerce business or any kind of business, the most important thing is to get leads, to get clients, to get money, to get revenue. Like revenue, like cash is something that fuels the business.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the step number one. But when e-commerce businesses reach certain point, they start to realize, listen, we are like hamster wheel. Like we getting new clients, we getting new clients, we getting new clients, and it's just like, how can we scale? And this is the next phase in retail and e-commerce
Mhm.
space is a retention. So even if you sell something clothing or like beauty and cosmetic, it's not only about like those subscription models, but when you sell just one-time use product, it doesn't mean that you cannot sell more to the same clients. And this is where email marketing is very good. It's a part of retention marketing. So our goal was email marketing to sell more to those people and to increase their lifetime value. So they not to convert those one-time buyers to two-time buyers to three-time buyers and so forth. Because only in general, the good rule of thumb, only 20% of from first-time buyers are converted to second-time buyers, and in some brand, the percentage even is much smaller. So that when brands starting up, they are focusing a lot on acquisition, but if they want to scale up, they need to start focusing on retention as well, retention of their customers.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Kind of as we kind of come to the end of the show and the talk, which I really enjoyed, was this. You talk about you quit your corporate job and talk about taking that leap, entrepreneurial mindset, and setting winning goals.
Christopher, so what is the question? I didn't get it.
Describe this idea where you took a leap of faith, you quit your job, you went all in on your business, and decided to grow and scale your business and your company.
Sure. Like right now, like looking back, it wasn't as hard, but if I remember how was it, it was extremely, it took me like few years, probably 2 years to quit my job. Like I always wanted, but it took me 2 years. And when I quit it, like you're listening to all those podcasts or YouTube channels, people are saying, don't worry, money will come. You just need to do what you love, or like you need to hustle and money will come. And you're like, yeah, I hear you, but money is not coming. And at that moment, I was thinking that I did not kind of believe in myself, but I pushed it through. I mean, one thing that helped me a lot, I was just consistent doing the work, and I was not afraid to take small project for $50 here, for 70 project, like a project there, for 500 here, 200 there. So I didn't care much about, at the beginning, didn't care much about the amount of money, but I care about my kind of reputation, built up my reputation to get reviews for the clients. So this is how it all started.
Yeah, I love that. How can people contact you, follow you, reach out to you, check out your social media, check out your work?
Sure. I mean, the best way is go to our website. It's Flowium, FLOWIUM.com, and you can get access to all our information and contact us. And also, I'm very active on LinkedIn, my first and last name.
Yeah. And for all the audience out there listening, Andriy, for coming on, really kind of elucidating email marketing. It's really interesting. It's age old, but it's just when you get a feeling something in your email inbox. All of his resources will be in the links and show notes. And with that, thanks so much for coming onto the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.